Welcome back to Inner Peace Better Health, where greed meets grace. I am your host Shreya. Today's guest is Lyubim Kogan, founder of Wings for Heroes, a five-time immigrant, Winter Olympian, 9/11 survivor, financial leader, and a man who's rebuilt not just business but broken spirits. From flying amputee veterans to finding peace in war zones, Lubim's life is a masterclass in purposeful resilience. So let's explore what it truly means to lead, to heal, and to never break your promise even when no one is watching. So welcome Lubim, I'm honored to have you on my show.
Hi, Shreya. Thanks for having me on your show. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you so
Where do we
much.
begin?
Yes. And Lubim, you faced some of most life's intense extremes, like surviving 9/11, rebuilding in post-war Ukraine, guiding wounded veterans. What inner compass has helped you to stay anchored through all of it?
It's a very good question. First of all, I'd like to say that I am a normal human being, just like everybody else. In some ways, I'm more sensitive, so I feel a lot more pressure when there's pressure around. And I think that what helped a lot is that I was a professional athlete. So I think from early childhood, when you're competing with others in sports, it really develops your resilience and ability to function under pressure. And as I went through life and I got different opportunities to advance, then the pressure increased. And a lot of times I remember thinking back when I was, starting out, thinking that if I will get to some point and I have X amount of money, then my life will be perfect and easy and I won't have to worry about a thing. And I found out it's not the truth, that the pressure is always there. And I think I really like, the concept of your show, because finding the inner peace, it could be a lifelong process or it could be 5 seconds.
True. It's so true.
So,
Ah, okay.
I was, I really I wanted to say, I wanted to compliment the name of your show, and I've written down your 4 words, and I think we can talk about all those words, because listen, glow, move, and flow is actually, to me, excuse me, to me, when I read it, I said like, well, this is like a little formula or little words that can guide you. And depending on where you are, you know, again, the more responsibilities you have, the more pressure you will have.
Yeah.
And I think finding the inner peace becomes the biggest issue, because I was thinking that I will make X amount of money and I will be happy. But now I realize it's when I was lost, because I was chasing, zeros in the bank account and not really life experiences. So, you get more zeros, and I was really stressed out. And now I have a lot less zeros, because I'm doing missionary work. I am not working. I am taking care of, of amputee veterans. So it's not a job, it's a calling.
Yeah.
And now I am much more at peace than probably I ever was. I'm thinking back last time when I was so relaxed and, you know, at peace, and I can't remember of another time. So, let's just say that if you're having a really difficult time, maybe volunteering for somebody who is less fortunate may help you connect and find that peace.
Yes. And thank you for putting the name of our show, and thank you for your kind words that you have said. It's so beautiful. And did peace ever feel out of reach to you? And if so, how did you reconnect with it?
If what feels out of reach,
If peace, did ever peace feel out of reach for you? And if it, then how did you reconnect?
I would say there were periods in my life that peace was not within any reach. It was really in far distance. And again, it was because I was chasing things that were really desirable on the outside. And I found out that by getting stuff on the outside, there is nothing really changes inside. Yes, it's comfortable. You don't have to worry about stuff, but the feeling of not having something or something not being enough when you have plenty, it's kind of a strange phenomenon. So I'd say now I really don't have, like, I think I live in peace most of the time. I would say 90% of my time, maybe a little more. And because I decided that I'm going to be a part of the solution. So we know that in the world, there are people who create problems, and I have nothing to do with those people. I'm just the guy who is cleaning it up, So I think that by this mission finding me, and actually, I think it's the universe somehow placed me to do this thing. I'm living in peace. Like, I don't know if we talk about this before, Shreya, but I think that I know that I'm going to die at some point in time, and everybody I know will die. But I think that when that time comes, I think I'll be okay because I've done all the things that I wanted to do. So I have that inner peace in the sense, like, I'm doing the right thing, and I've been doing the right thing for a long time, and I chose a difficult road to get those experiences. So if somebody is going through a difficult time, just know, like, this is normal. And if you can find some kind of joy in going through those challenges, and actually challenges make you change. Like, when everything is perfect, there is no need to change.
Mm.
You actually go around and tell people that they need to change, or, some people do that. But again, everybody goes through a difficult time. And if you're going through a difficult time, just acknowledge that you have to get through it. Is it okay if I make an example, Shreya?
Yes, please do.
Okay. Oh, I think it was 2 nights ago. I was talking to a lady. She has a podcast. It's for grandparents who are raising grandchildren. And she said something. She said, like, I felt when I got these two little kids, when I am like a grandma, I am retired, I'm old, and I have like 3-year-old, and another one is about the same age, and they have special needs. She said, like, I was feeling like I was standing in front of a big wall, and it was the end of the world. And she said, like, it was pressure on the marriage and her health and everything. And then she said, you know what? I decided I'm going to go through this wall. And she said she went through this wall, and she found out that it's like so much easier after she like put that effort and she went through it. So she said, then next life situation presents with kids with special needs, you know, she says, I decide to go through another wall. And she says, like, I really found out that if I like come to a wall that I don't like, and then like hit my head on it a few times, and then I walk away, then I have to come back and do it again. So she said, with experience, she found out that she just needs to get through it. And it was like, she made an analogy with the wall. She said, I break through the wall, I feel stronger, I feel empowered, and I can go deal with my next challenge. So if you have a challenge in front of you, why not get through it now?
Yeah.
And not put it off until tomorrow, next year. Go through, and then you'll be on the next level.
Mm. Yes, yes, this is a beautiful example that you have shared, and thank you for sharing this with our audience. And also, your life is a testament to anchoring through chaos. And now, talk about Wings for Heroes. So, Wings for Heroes is such a powerful initiative. What made you believe that flying could help the veterans to reclaim their dignity and joy?
Hmm. Um, I am a paragliding pilot. That's what I like to do when I'm not working. And basically, I remember going flying first time, and it was super scary. It was really, really scary, to the point where I thought I was going to die. We were flying in the air, it's thousands of meters above the ground. And I'm thinking, I don't even know that guy. Like, I just met him and it's the end of my life. So I said goodbye to my father. I started saying goodbye to my brother. And then I stopped myself and I said, okay, relax. It's going to be okay. And it was okay after we landed. I was really, like, really scared. And I knew that not only I have to learn how to fly myself, I have to get good enough to fly other people, to become that guy in the back, that you don't know, but you just trust your life with.
Yeah.
And when the war, was producing, like, there are tens of thousands of amputees in Ukraine. And that's where I was working. And you see a lot of them. And basically, I had this crazy idea that if you go off a cliff, and anybody, if no matter how brave you are, if you go off a cliff, your subconscious mind knows that you will die. Like 200-meter cliff, you're dead. So I thought, what if we put them through this traumatic experience where, like, the subconscious mind thinks it dies, it shuts everything off, and they forget that they don't have legs. So when you land and when you fly, you don't really need legs. You don't need anything. If you can sit like this, because you're sitting like in a little backpack, and it doesn't matter if you have two legs or one or none. So I thought that if we scare somebody to death, they'll forget that they didn't have legs. And after they land, they will feel empowered and they will have that positive experience that psychologists say that people need to reboot the system, to come back to life. That was kind of two life experiences put together, and you have a mission.
True, true. And that's really wonderful to give the wounded heroes the gift of flight and freedom. That's so commendable. And also from finance to humanitarian leadership, your journey has not followed a straight line. What role has uncertainty played in your growth?
I would say close to 100%. Because if I think about how my process of moving to so many different countries, let's go back to early 90s. I went to the United States. I was born in the former Soviet Union, and Soviet Union broke up in 1991. And the next year, I went to the United States. So the uncertainty of a new country, Ukraine, that was formed a year ago, kind of was the final push to go to the United States. And then, moving around the United States, I really wanted to go to business school in New York City, and I did. And I wanted to work in the World Trade Center, and I did. And after the World Trade Center was destroyed, I had nothing to do. So I went to California, then to Colorado, then to Texas, then again to Colorado. And then I stayed in Colorado for more than 10 years. But I was not certain where I'm going to go. So uncertainty was there all the time. Starting a business back in 2004, I was homeless for more than 1 year. So you're trying to get the business going, but you cannot afford to have a permanent place of residency. That is really uncertain, not knowing where you're going to, live tomorrow. And I think that for me, the third word in your little saying under the name move, move was, I moved, and I move until today. I think that's one of the things that I really have down, like, automatic. If I see that this place is finished, I have to go, I go. And the fact that I have to cross the border is not a big concern to me, because I've done it so many times. And basically there is a process. You go, you know what you're going to do there. You fill out the governmentally required paperwork. You provide all the information they want. You submit it, and then they give you a residency card or not. You don't know. But I was fortunate enough that borders were not such an issue. Maybe because of work that I was doing all the time. But uncertainty was maybe the foundation of all the energy I needed to move, because, like, if I don't know what's going to happen, I really take action. Like I know I need to go, and I think it's maybe being first generation immigrant. Like you're not getting any help. You know, if
Yes.
you're in a foreign land, you're not getting any help, so you have to move. And I think all immigrants have one thing in common, and that's, you know, the ability to move now, because you can't wait until tomorrow.
Yes, yes. And I think embracing uncertainty the way you did is itself a very bold transformation. So it's really wonderful. And also you stepped into a failing Ukrainian infrastructure company with no salary, no safety, nothing. So what made you say yes to that challenge?
You know, I was talking to my dad 2 days ago, and he reminded me how it all started, because I left in 92, and the first time I went back to visit Ukraine was 2014. So we're talking about 22, 23 years almost I was gone. And the day I landed at the airport was the day when the first person was killed. It was the 2014 revolution, and 99 more died because, all their portraits they're still posted in a special area in Kiev, and they were the first ones who died because Ukraine wanted to end the Russian regime, which was placed by a president. It was a puppet president. So I landed, and when that guy got shot in the morning, the escalation went to the next level. The next day, there were tires burning, there were tanks rolling down streets in Kiev. It was like really scary because it just happened the first time. And my father and my brother, they live in Kiev because my dad did consulting work. And my brother was going to school in Kiev. And when I went to visit him, and I had to go home, he says, Lyubim, can you please stay? Because all adults talk about is war. They don't talk about anything else. And they stayed one more week and one more week, one more week. And I actually got to see how things played out. Then I went home, and I came back in 2015. And I went as an assistant coach to the junior world championships in Kazakhstan for a United States Nordic combined team, ski jumping and cross country. And on the way back, I was flying to Kiev to see my father and my brother, and their plane did not land in Kiev. It landed east because of the fog. They had to go to the next airport. And when we landed, I saw Red Cross helicopters, and they were loading people, injured veterans, soldiers into the plane, into the helicopters, and taking off. And it's like, so after seeing that, I had an opportunity, it was a company that I did an audit for, and I found out a lot of things, and they said, can you stay and fix it? And, I spent 2 months working there, and people really opened up to me, and they really like concentrating on work, not on politics. And I think they really they were hopeful that I would stay and things would change. And I had an offer, they made me an offer, and I said yes before really thinking what I was getting myself into. So I said yes really fast. And, I think in life, you have to do that when you have opportunities, but sometimes you have to think twice. And going through that experience, it was really difficult. It was like, personally, I felt the physical and the emotional toll. And that's when I didn't have inner peace. Here's the point in my life, because no matter how much work I did, no matter how much I fixed, something fell apart. It was just something else. And it's always unexpected because you're dealing with war. And yeah, I had no peace when I was living there. Just the times when I went away to go paragliding, that was my peace. And then I had to go back in, and it took maybe 5 years to find some kind of normalcy and really start calming down. So to be honest, I went through long periods of time where I didn't have peace, but that made me move. And that made me find that peace. And I think it's important, to look for that, because you can have all the millions in the world, but you can have some mental issues. And I've met a lot of wealthy people, and the mental issues they have, we don't want them, you just can keep all your money and all your crazy with you, because that is not, uh, whatever they carry on their consciousness. I don't even want to know. You know what I mean, Shreya? I don't
Yes,
even want to
yes.
know that. And I'm okay like like this.
Yeah. I really agree. And I think you faced so many challenges, and the way you just faced them, and it's just needs pure conviction that you had. And what did the reason that teach you about your trust, and especially trusting yourself?
Oh, look, I remember I first of all, I journaled extensively for a long, long time, like writing my experiences and reflecting and going back. Like I have boxes of journals stored in Ukraine. And I had a lot of questions, that I really wanted to answer. And I found a lot of answers in books. That there are a lot of people like, Stephen Covey, for example. They get a lot of information from everywhere, and then they put it in the system, and they give you the system that you can implement. And by doing such great research, people like him, they give you answers. Like I have a theory in my mind, and then I meet a person who studied that topic for a long time, and they kind of confirm or don't confirm what I was thinking about. Then I have a situation running a business, because one thing that you will know if you run your own business or any business, any company, is that something new happens all the time, and you have to invent ways of how to get through. Even though you're doing the same thing, the life situation changes a lot, and you have to get through different things. And that gives you the experience. So I think I just went through a lot of difficult situations and big issues that I was thinking about and had theories on, and they kind of play out the way I thought they would. So then I thought, okay, I will experiment. If I have a feeling about something, let's say I have a positive feeling about an outcome, so I would say, I will do this and see how it works out. And I was really playing with it for a long time and seeing that a lot of my feelings, and it's just not like an idea. It's when like your thoughts meet with your feeling, and you just know. So when I had that knowing, I just took action, and it started working out. And then I trained myself more and more and more. And now, um, with a lot of big decisions, it's automatic. It's just like the process that I go through. But try playing with your intuition, like call it like that. You get a message from inside, just see what happens if you follow that, and do it with little things first. Like don't do it with, I have a feeling I'm going to start a new business. So you just close your shop and walk away and start something new tomorrow. No, start with little things, just something that will not yet change your life much, but it will give you that answer. Oh, cool. I have intuition, and I do get the messages, and those messages come to me. So you just learn how to interpret them.
Beautiful, beautiful. And also, you have rebuilt lives, careers, and entire missions. So, how do you personally cultivate the inner peace amid this constant actions and
But
responsibilities?
I just know that I'm doing the right thing. And I know that nobody but me can do this. And it's that important to me that, first of all, energy comes from I don't know where. I don't know if you had periods in your time when you do like 1 or 2 tasks a day and you're like so tired. And then you have like a million and you don't know where to fit it in your schedule. And then at the end of the day, you're done and you're trying to calm down because you have to go to sleep. But you're so like hyped up and energetic. And I don't drink coffee in the afternoon, and I feel like so I think if you're doing things that are really important to you, like meaningful, I am working, this is my legacy project. I'm very clear that when I die, I hope, and I will do everything I can so this mission will live on. So it's probably one of my biggest project. Well, it's definitely the biggest project in my life so far. So, just knowing that I am giving back to people who really allow us to have this conversation. We are safe because somebody else is protecting us. And I'm saying thank you, and I'm taking care of those men and women. And that makes me really, I'm really content. I'm really at peace with what I'm doing, and I don't have thoughts that I need to do something else. You know, I don't have those thoughts, even though I don't know how the mission is going to last, because finances is always an issue, right? That's our continuity, is ability to raise funds and bring new veterans in. So that is a big concern, but I don't feel it like, like when I ran a business, if I needed to pay the bills at the end of the month or spend money on marketing or take out the client, and really pamper them, then it was really stressful. But now it's not.
This is, I think, what you were doing is really commendable, and this conversation, this is really not only helpful for our listeners, I think for everyone. This is so beautiful. And if after this my listeners want to connect with you, then what's the best way?
Our website is the best way, wingsforheroes.org. There's a contact button, there's the history, there are some videos, everything is there. But wingsforheroes.org is the best place to find me. And yeah, watch the videos. I think you'll get a lot of peace out of them, because we have some really cool things. We had one veteran was rehabbing here, doing physical therapy for 1 month. He just left 3 o'clock in the morning this morning. I sent him back home, and there's his first bike ride since amputation. I just put the video last week. He was sitting on the beach, and then he just took one of our volunteers' bikes, and he said, "I need a helmet." And we started riding, and we did the big bike ride. Lots of kids came. It's cool. So
Yes,
if you need some positivity, go to wingsforheroes.org, scroll down to the bottom of any page and watch the videos. They will definitely bring you
yes,
some peace and joy.
definitely. And I will make sure to attach all the details and links below so that my listeners can find them easily and get in touch with you, because what you are doing is really wonderful. And to my listeners,
Thank
Lyubim
you.
Kogan, yes, thank you too. And Kogan teaches us that peace and purpose often walk through fire together. Whether you're navigate uncertainty, healing from loss, or just searching for your next brave step, his life is a proof that the human spirit is capable of extraordinary fight. So stay grounded, stay open, and never forget that you are made to rise. Thank you.